In this video, I'm going to show you how to release between the shoulder blades and into the middle back and also into your chest. So if you tend to get stiffness and tightness in your middle back or your shoulders just feel stiff, this is really going to help you out. So let's get started. So I'm going to show you this on my left side first. So you're going to bend your left leg like so, keep your right leg straight, and just lift up your back and put your hand just underneath your back a little bit. So the back of your hand will kind of be in the left side of the small of your back. And from here, your elbow's on the floor, and you're just going to press a little bit with your elbow into the floor. And as you do that, you're going to feel how pressing with your elbow kind of makes your hip on the left side lift up a little bit. And it also allows you to feel some tension in your middle of your back and a little bit between your shoulder blades. And then just let that relax. So just get the feeling for this movement first. Pressing down with the left elbow, and you could also kind of press back with your left shoulder as well. And because your hip is going to the right, you can go ahead and deliberately sort of roll your pelvis a bit to the right as well. Let your head turn left, and just notice what that feels like in the back of the arm, back of the shoulder, and middle back, and then just slowly come back to rest. So the intention is to send the elbow and shoulder back behind you. Roll your pelvis a little to the right, let your head turn. Feel how the bulk of the effort is kind of in your middle back and arm, and then slowly and carefully relax back to rest. And let's do that a couple of times. Pressing with the elbow, pressing with the shoulder back into the floor, turning the head towards the working side and letting the hips roll to the right. Now don't push through your foot on this. Let your foot be pretty relaxed. So the bulk of the effort is in the upper body. And then just come down as smoothly and slowly as you can, back to rest. So this particular part of it is going to free up the area between your shoulder blades on this side. Let's just do that 2 more times. Elbow down, shoulder down, pelvis rolls right, head rolls left. And then nice and smooth as you can, back to rest. And we'll do that 1 more time. Turning the head towards the working side elbow and rolling the hips away from the working side elbow. And come back to rest. Okay, let's just lay straight for a second and see how that feels. And as always, if you've done that slowly and carefully, that should feel quite different on that side of your back now. You might find like that side of your back feels sort of dropped into the table a bit more. Okay, so bring your leg to bent again. Put your hand back in the same position. And now this time we're going to change it a little bit, and you're going to get into the front of the shoulder more. Now for some of you, this movement is going to feel a whole lot easier than the other one. It just depends where you happen to be more tight, whether it's in the front or the back of your shoulder. Instead of pressing the elbow down into the ground now, this time you're actually going to lift the elbow. And just lift it a little bit first. See what it feels like. And notice to lift the elbow, you kind of have to lift the shoulder as well. So left elbow and shoulder are lifting up. Feel how that creates tension in the left chest. And then just nice and slowly let that come back down. When you're ready, we're going to repeat that. In order to lift the elbow and the shoulder, you kind of need to let your shoulder blade in the back move away from your spine, and then that makes it a bit easier. And the more you lift the elbow and shoulder, the more you're going to feel tension in your chest, the front of the armpit, that kind of area. And then come down nice and slow. And don't go too far with this movement. Only go to whatever's comfortable for yourself. Now, the next time you lift the elbow and shoulder up, just roll your straight leg, your right leg, inward towards the middle, and notice that that makes it a little bit easier. And if you put your hand on your belly, you'll feel your belly is starting to get a little bit tight now as well. That's fine. You're kind of making a full body pattern out of it. So your elbow is up, leg is rolled in, shoulder is up, tight through the front. Let your head just go along for the ride on this. If it wants to turn a little bit to the side, that's fine. And then real slowly unwind out of that. And we'll do that about 2 or 3 times. Elbow and shoulder lift up, opposite leg rolls in, let the head turn a bit, slowly and carefully back to rest. And repeat, lifting the elbow and shoulder, rolling the opposite leg in, and let the head turn as much as you need to make it feel like it's helping you do the movement. And again, nice and slowly, just let that relax back to rest. And the head will probably want to turn to the side you're working with, the left side in this case. All right, let's do that one more time. Elbow and shoulder lift up, opposite leg rolls in, head turns toward the working side, and then come down as smooth as you can, nice and slow, all the way to rest. Okay, so take your hand out from behind your back, let your legs be straight again, and just check in with that again. And again, that should feel quite a bit different now through the shoulder in the front. You'll feel the chest should feel a bit softer, and of course that has knock-on effects for how the shoulder feels in the back as well. But the left side should now be feeling quite a bit different from the right side. Okay, so bring your leg to bent again, back to that working position with the hand behind your back somewhat. And we're just going to alternate between those two actions a couple of times. So you're going to press down with your elbow and shoulder, let your hips roll right a bit, slowly come back to middle, and then lift the shoulder and elbow up, rolling the right leg in. You might find your left knee kind of wants to turn in a bit as well. That's okay. Let your head turn to the left, come back down, press with the elbow and shoulder down, slowly release, lift the elbow and shoulder up, rolling the opposite leg in, letting the head turn again, slowly release. So just see if you can make this feel pretty even in both directions without forcing anything. Just getting that elbow and shoulder moving. And release. Okay. All right, finish the one you're on. Lay out flat. And just see how that feels through that side. Now, just to finish that off and really get some good release on that shoulder, bring the legs to bent again and put one hand on your right hand on your belly, left hand toward the ceiling, and you're just going to reach straight up toward the ceiling and feel as you reach toward the ceiling that the back of your shoulder lifts up off the ground and your shoulder blade on that side moves away from your spine. And then keeping your arms straight, come down nice and slowly back to the floor. And we'll just do that about 3 times total. Reaching up. This is engaging into the chest muscles again and also lengthening out the back of the shoulder. Slowly coming down. And then one last time, reaching up. And slowly coming on down. Okay, lay out flat. And see how that feels through the side you were working with compared to the other side. They're probably feeling very, very different now. That just helps to highlight the contrast that you can make just by doing these simple movements. So it's a nice simple movement to free up the front and back of the shoulder. Give it a try and let me know how you get on. If you'd like to take a full class with me, you can check out the link in the description. Check out my on-demand full classes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.